I came across a fascinating theory the other day that there is an underpinning shared mythology of both the Native American, primarily Navajo, Skinwalker and Norse Berserkers, and the potential connections do not end with these two sets of folk beliefs. The theory was posted on Instagram, that bastion of historical rectitude, but, joking aside, it does bear some serious consideration, especially since the two groups do share a common ancestor culture, albeit an extremely ancient one. So, what did it say? The post pointed out that many cultures descended from a group known as ancient North Eurasians exhibited folkloric and mythological werewolf-like beasts. These include the Proto-Indo-European Korios and the Norse Ulfhethnar or wolfskins, better known as berserkers. But it also includes similar legends in Irish mythology, that Celtic heroes including Finn McCool were said to have been raised by wolves, and there is a similar wolfskin caste in Irish mythology. Added to this list can also be the Uralic Virunsusi of Finland. In this case, a witch was said to be able to place a curse on someone to make them shapeshift into the wolf-like beast. This is also startlingly similar to Native American skinwalkers. All of these examples exhibit, to varying degrees, the common motif of an animistic ritual that is triggered by a warrior shaman. In Skinwalker mythology, they are usually teenage boys who are kidnapped in the countryside, with the shaman effectively possessing the boy to do his bidding. This ancient concept still appears in modern fiction and is where the warging of George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones mythology derives. Skinwalkers are also described as roaming in packs and adding other youths to their bands. This Manabund-like group also calls to mind the Northern European concept of the wild hunt. The Skinwalkers are described as changing into wolves, coyotes or foxes. The fauna are exchangeable depending on the location, with Norse berserkers being bear-skinned. But the central concept is the same, shape-shifting youthful participants and a shamanic and animistic ritual. This is the case with the Korios or Irish Fina, who were male war bands existing outside of civilized society and consisting of allegedly shape-shifting warriors wearing animal skins to assume the nature of wolves or dogs. They were indoctrinated into an effective animal cult as a kind of rite of passage. The liminal space these groups occupied between the wild and the domestic mirror recent studies on the domestication of wolves and their ultimate transformation into dogs. Many or most of the wolf pups humans took from the wilderness to rear in camp may have derived from liminal dens, where the breeding pairs had been under indirect human selection for tameness over many generations. They were then released back into this between space when they reached sexual maturity. With these facts in mind, let's look at what we know, or at least have deduced, of ancient North Eurasian mythology. There is the myth of the dog guarding the otherworld. This has made its way into many descendant stories, with the three-headed Kerberos from Greek mythology being a well-known example. Very similar myths exist in other Indo-European cultures, such as the Norse. Then there is the Roman folkloric purification and fertility festival of Lupercalia, where ritual sacrifices were performed by dog-headed adherents. And they also appear in Siberian mythology, as well as among the Sioux, Algonquin and Iroquois Native Americans. Other Native Americans also took on animal guises, like the Jaguar warriors who made up the Aztec military elite. Siberian Chukchi and Tungus traditions spoke of a guardian of the afterlife dog and a spirit dog that would absorb the dead man's soul and act as a guide in the afterlife. Zoroastrian beliefs from Persia also have a similar motif, as well as Central Asian Turkic tribes and Kazakhs and many more descendant people. As well as the wolf cults and dog guardian trope, there are other pointers to a shared culture too. The humble sauna provides a link between Nordic and Native American peoples, as steam bath rituals exist among both groups. Professor Sven Kerbel of the Osijek Medical Faculty in Zagreb, Croatia, authored a paper on diseases in 2019 that made this link. Part of the abstract read, ancient steam bath rituals seem linked to lower incidences of cystic fibrosis in several European populations, thus suggesting health protection in an arid, dusty climate of the last glaciation. Effectively, the professor is pointing to the experiences of the ancient North Eurasians during the last glacial maximum being transmitted down into their descendant cultures of Native Americans and Nordic peoples who went in opposite migratory directions but retained vestiges of the original culture. Professor Kerbel speculated that the ancient North Eurasians may have developed steam baths to clean the skin and respiratory organs as part of a ritual or spiritual cleansing. He said this could account for the presence of sauna-type steam baths in Northwest European and Native American populations who perhaps inherited it from their ancient North Eurasian ancestors. I have to say I find the links more than just circumstantial and, in places, quite compelling. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.